Shame on the United States. Shame. Shame on Donald Trump and his whole administration. So check this out, y'all. White South Africans granted refugee status by the Trump administration. Now let that sink in. Look at these people. These people are the descendants of the colonizers and the apartheid rulers in South Africa. So the government over there is using their constitution to help give land back to the native Africans. They're buying land from South Africans who own 70% of all the land. And you go, how did they do that? They stole it.
In the meantime, the Trump administration welcomed a group of 59 white South Africans as refugees, prompting some serious blowback from immigration advocates.
This South African farmer bullshit, which is the most blatantly obvious racist shit ever. It is blatantly obvious the way that we treat white South Africans, who, by the way, for the most part, and I am generalizing here, some of the wealthiest people are well-to-do people in the country. They speak their language. They own most of the land and the property. And somehow they're being granted a fast track to become Americans while they're trying to cut down on immigration from other countries. You know, you get that from where? From the brown people. On March 7th, Trump took to Truth Social to announce he is offering white South African farmers, quote, a rapid pathway to U.S. citizenship, pointing out that South Africa's new land reform push signed into law last year, which lets the government take land without compensation if the property is not being used and there's no intention to either develop or make money from it. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you some context here. They're not just taking land away from white South African farmers. White South Africans, about 9% of the population, owned 87% of the fertile land. Okay? Today, Black South Africans make up more than 90% of the population, and they only hold about 4% of all privately owned land. So what they're trying to do is say, hey, we need to fix an historical injustice and figure out if you're not using that land to farm, then we need to have some of that land, not taking all of your entire farm. That's not what's happening. And we need to what? There needs to be equity. And now people are crying because the playing field is being leveled. And so therefore it is now discrimination.
When I say certain people have the complexion for protection, this is what I mean. These are the white South African refugees that are coming to the United States after Elon Musk lied and spread misinformation on Twitter, saying that these white South Africans were experiencing G-side by the political party in charge. Here's the timeline of events. On July 31st, 2023, Elon Musk tweets, they are openly pushing for G-side of white people in South Africa. Then he tags the president of South Africa and says, why do you say nothing? So as you can see, Elon Musk has been fueling this fire and spreading this misinformation for years now.
Hey guys, my name is Modi and you are welcome to Modi Speaks. So finally, liberals have discovered a group of people and a type of refugees they do not want to let into the United States of America. These same guys who have been marching up and down the streets, disrupting the peace and demanding that millions and millions of undocumented immigrants be allowed to just pour into the country. The same set of hypocrites who were up in jubilation when Joe Biden allowed the borders of America to be open to anyone and to everyone. The same people who congratulated Joe Biden when he allowed over 10 million undocumented immigrants to indiscriminately pour into the country. Undocumented immigrants, whom in most cases are convicted criminals, gang members, and dangerous people who most likely have nothing to contribute to the American country or to the American society. But these liberals praised their arrival, staged protests lamenting that no human is illegal. But all of a sudden, because Trump welcomed a group of 59 refugees who are actually the Afrikaners of South Africa, okay, who are fleeing a life of racial persecution and discrimination in their own country, all of a sudden, these liberals no longer believe that refugees are welcome in America. All of a sudden, refugee lives do not matter. All of a sudden, some humans are now illegal aliens and undocumented immigrants.
So let me get this straight. 59 immigrants, illegal aliens have been brought to the United States from South Africa, white immigrants, and they are calling them refugees. You see how they call them different terms when they want to push the narrative? No, they're illegal immigrants. They're illegal aliens that were brought here from South Africa, because Trump said that they were facing genocide and racial discrimination. Isn't Elon Musk from South Africa? How do we know this isn't his people? How do we know this isn't his family? They're here, and even though the entire process to bring other people from other countries is on hold, refugees, he somehow managed to expedite the process for these 59 individuals. It starts at 59, then it's going to climb to 200, and it's going to climb to 300-400. Next thing you know, they're going to be using our tax dollars to fund their stores, and they're going to get grants, and they're going to get resources from the United States government that even American citizens can't get. Even American citizens don't have access to. How do we know Elon Musk hadn't promised his family, friends, whoever it is, that I will get you to the United States at the expense of American tax dollars? I will get you to the United States at the expense of the American government on their dime. How do we know that? We don't know that. We don't. And that's probably exactly what's going on. 59 immigrants, they're labeling them as refugees.
Actually, I really don't know what these people's problems are with these South African refugees who are fleeing a land grab and racial persecution by the South African government. Are they mad because these refugees came into the US legally instead of sneaking through the border? Or are they mad because these refugees all look like they actually love and value the United States of America? I mean, you can see them all waving the American flag. That right there is a sign of love and respect for the country, as opposed to the other refugees who are chanting death to America, burning the American flag, raping American girls, and committing all sorts of crime in America. Or are these liberals mad because these refugees are white? Could that be the problem? Or are they mad because these refugees are families who look peaceful and cultured, as opposed to the military-aged men with gang member tattoos on their knuckles? Okay? I mean, what exactly are they mad about?
And part of that is that the people who are native to that land deserve their rightful land back. That is not what the Afrikaners actually want to have happen, which are the white Africans, and so who are not originally from Africa, who colonized South Africa also. And so that is what they are saying is discrimination. Now, if the Constitution in South Africa is discriminatory, they have their checks and balances in that land just like we do. And that is for them to, so if the Afrikaners don't actually like the land, they can leave that country.
They are. They're leaving to come here.
No.
These refugees are coming here.
They can actually leave and go to where their native land is, which is probably Germany.
Are you against them coming here?
Holland, probably. Holland.
How ridiculous. Imagine if white people in America were to say to black Americans, well, if you don't like America, you can leave. You can go back to Africa. You can go back to Wakandaland. Imagine white people saying that to black Americans. I'm sure these people will be screaming racism and all sorts of discrimination. But look at her saying exactly that to the Afrikaners of South Africa. Now, she claims that the discrimination that white South Africans are passing through in South Africa is not real. White South Africans are just, feeling discriminated because they don't like the land and they should leave South Africa if they don't like it. Imagine. That is so ignorant, and that is not what is actually happening, okay? The fact is that white South Africans are being persecuted by the South African government simply because they are white, okay? Simply because they are white. The government is forcefully taking their lands from them, displacing them from their farmlands. There are lots of legislations in South Africa that are put in place to subdue the Afrikaners, okay? The white South Africans. The society is hostile towards them. Black South Africans want them dead. And the leaders of some South African political parties are very vocal about wanting to wipe them off the face of the planet. These white South Africans can't even access 80% of the South African environment for fear of being harmed by their black countrymen. Their kids are being bullied. The white farmers are being murdered on their own farms every now and then. Now, in the US, we have the black American population to only be around 13%, yet society boils down to them, okay? They have all the power to twist and turn the narrative however they choose. They have the power to cause chaos and problems whenever they like. How many times have I seen videos upon videos of said 13% bullying white people, maybe attacking them in schools, okay? Stabbing them in the chest, just plain brutalizing them just because they are white. Now, imagine a country like South Africa where over 81% of the population is black and only 7% is white. Do I need to tell you the amount of danger they pose to these white South Africans? I don't think so. I think you get the drill. Now, this is the political leader of a political party in South Africa called the EFF. Now, let's listen to what he has to say about the Afrikaners.
I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I'm saying to you, we have not called for the killing of white people, at least for now. I can't guarantee the future.
Yeah, but I mean, you'd understand somebody watching that, especially as it gets shared on Twitter, they freak out. It sounds like a genocidal call.
Cry babies. Cry babies.
I'm not calling for the slaughter of white people, at least for now.
I can't give a guarantee of the future, especially when things are going the way they are.
Subtext.
Especially if things are going the way they are, there will be a revolution in this country, I can tell you now.
His name is Julius Malema, and he is not some drunk homeless guy by the roadside screaming, kill all white people, okay? He is a very, very powerful man, a political leader in South Africa. Millions and millions of South Africans follow him and listen to him. And this is the kind of thing he tells them to do to white farmers. Take a listen.
Shoot to kill the mother, kill the poor, the farmer, kill the poor, the farmer. Brr, pa, pa, brr, pa, pa. Attention.
Now, for those of you who don't know, the Boer refers to the Afrikaans, okay, the white South Africans, okay? Now, you saw the multitude of people gathered in that arena. They all have been told to kill the Boer, the farmer. They too will also move on to pass the same information to their family and friends. And then the information spreads like wildfire. These are the kind of posts I'm seeing from Black South Africans. It says, we need to unite as Black people. There are less than 5 million whites in South Africa versus 45 million of us. We can kill all these whites within 2 weeks. We have the army and the police. If those who are killing farmers can do it, what are you waiting for? Shoot the Boer, kill the farmer. So for you people saying, oh, the farmers are not being killed, there is no evidence, and there is evidence, but they are just hiding it. They are keeping it under wraps. The farmers are being killed. I am telling you, a lot is happening in South Africans, and white South Africans are the victims, okay? They are in danger. They are being killed. They are being massacred on a daily basis. Another post reads, I want to cleanse this country of all white people. They deserve to be hacked, and you must be skinned alive, and your children used as fertilizer. Imagine that. Now, his name is Velafi Kumalo, and he is an ANC party member in South Africa. His genocide call is all over the internet. You can just Google it yourself if you don't believe me. Now, let's come back to America. These liberal nutheads even accuse the South African refugees of looking healthy and clean. Therefore, they cannot be real refugees.
Well, aren't these just the healthiest looking refugees I've ever seen? The most nourished, the most well kept, the cleanest, most well dressed refugees I've ever seen. I've never seen such stunningly healthy, good looking refugees in my life. Thank God America offered them refuge from South Africa. Thank God. They look like they could not have even stood another day there. Thank God.
Now, remember that white South Africans, despite being small in number, have been the backbone of South Africa since the beginning of time. Their contribution have kept South Africa afloat all these years, and now they are slowly fleeing the country. South Africa is about to experience a collapse. White farmers currently produce 95.3% of their corn, 98.7% of their wheat, 97.6% of their cotton, 97.2% of their citrus, 99% of their potatoes, 91.4% of their tomatoes, 96.9% of their soybean, 95.8% of their poultry, 66% of their cattle, 89% of their wool, and this is just scratching the surface. South Africa is currently effing around, and they might just find out. And for those liberals who are against these 59 refugees coming into the US, I challenge you guys to try living in South Africa as a white person, okay? Maybe then and only then will you understand what these people are passing through or what these people are talking about. Pro tip though, you better go and ask Nigerians and other Africans what they passed through at the hands of these South Africans during their xenophobic era, okay? Anyway, guys, these are my thoughts, these are my opinions, but feel free to share yours in the comment section below, but do so respectfully. Also, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, honestly, I don't know what you're waiting for. Subscribe to the channel. Like and share this video to keep people informed, and consider joining my membership or buying me a coffee if you like, as a way of supporting the channel. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to catch you on the next one. For now, peace.